Special reform is an attempt to make a specific thing better for people, such as the hospital system. Doctors used to come in with cigars in their mouth to do surgery. Now, doctors have to be beyond clean. The Second Great Awakening was also a part of the reform. Religious thoughts and feelings sparked the reforming impulse. Many Americans believed in predestination, which was the idea that everyone was bound to either hell or heaven before they were born, much like a one-way road. With that idea, you technically could be bound to heaven and be the worst criminal you could possibly be, and vice versa. One of the most important preachers of all time was Charles Finney. He held the first of many gigantic religious meetings in 1926. These meetings often went for days. A utopian society is a place that is totally perfected in every way possible. This is currently impossible because of our human nature. Public schools are schools that are totally funded by taxes. This is one idea that we still use today. Abolitionists were people who wanted to abolish slavery. Some examples would be William Lloyd Garrison, who was one of the most forceful voices in the abolition and strongly opposed violence in ending slavery. He also launched the abolitionist newspaper. And Harriet Tubman, who was an escaped slave and escorted more than 300 people to freedom via the Underground Railroad. She was nicknamed Black Moses because she led so many people to salvation. Slavery ended in the North when Pennsylvania became a free state. It later spread through the rest of the North like an epidemic. Sometimes people mistake the Underground Railroad for being, well, an underground railroad. But it wasn't underground or a railroad. It was just a secret set of paths taken by abolitionists leading slaves to the North at night. Many people, black, white, northern, southern, secretly helped slaves reach freedom. The Declaration of Sentiments was modeled after the Declaration of Independence. But rather than listing things against the King of England, it listed injustices upon women such as being shut out of educational opportunities and the right to vote. The women's right movement was a special reform to improve the everyday rights of women as people. At first, the movement for women's suffrage was making very little progress, but later was approved August 26, 1920. Along with the special reforms, there came new jobs, such as teaching jobs, nurses, journalists, and even authors. Early American literature was influenced a lot by Greek and Roman mythology, but it was also sometimes more dark, like the Scarlet Letter, or even more adventurous, like Moby Dick. Civil disobedience was a big factor that led to how the country is today. In fact, without civil disobedience, there would probably still be slaves, because no one would have spoken up about having humans work for other humans and often getting killed just because. One person that practiced civil disobedience was Henry Thoreau. He spent a night in jail for refusing to pay a tax that supported slavery. Individualism, it goes hand in hand with civil disobedience. Individualism is the unique importance of each person, but it's also trust in thyself, which means you should always listen to yourself. Transcendentalism was a movement in American literature that explores the connection between humans and nature through thought, not logic.